Hey guys, this is Frozen Things Studios here, and welcome back to another movie review. And today I am continuing on with my Rocky franchise reviews leading up to Creed 3, and I will be reviewing Rocky 2. So, Rocky 2 is a sequel to the iconic classic Rocky. Came out in 1979 and is directed by Sylvester Stallone, who has directed the vast majority of the Rocky films and stars pretty much everyone who was in the first film. There were no additional cast members. I think basically the plot for Rocky 2 is about Rocky who has moved on from boxing and to focus on his personal life. He's now married to Adrian and pretty much spends time with her as well as his job at the meat store. But then he's struggling with his job as he pretty much gave up after failing to make a meat commercial, and so after that he decides to return to boxing when Apollo Creed demands a rematch to him after the backlash due to what happened to the fight in the original. So Rocky and Creed pretty much agreed to rematch into a much bigger and better fight. So yeah, Rocky 2. Now, just to let you guys know, I have not seen a lot of Rocky sequels. The only films in the original franchise I have seen before are Rocky 1, which I actually just rewatched and reviewed yesterday, so go check it out if you haven't, and Rocky 4 because of Creed 2. So now I am going to be reviewing a Rocky movie that I have yet to see until now. So yeah, Rocky 2 is often regarded as the best of the Rocky sequels. And I was like wondering, is this really gonna be as good as Rocky 4? Because I remember I loved Rocky 4. Yes, it has its flaws, but I love it nonetheless. Nonetheless, I was like thinking, how is Rocky 2 going to like be the best Rocky sequels? But at the same time, I was like thinking, oh yeah, maybe it can, maybe there can be a way. But after seeing Rocky 2, I gotta say, yes, this is actually amazing. I love this movie. I mean, I expected it to be good, but to be honest, guys, I didn't expect it to be this good. Rocky 2 is a masterpiece. Now, I think this is right on par with Rocky 1. Honestly, I can't really decide if I think which Rocky film I think it's better. I'm gonna have to rethink on this one for a while, but um, I will definitely do a Rocky ranking list leading up to like after Creed 3 comes. No, not leading up. Like after Creed 3, I'll be doing a ranking. So you'll see which one I prefer, Rocky 1 or Rocky 2. But right now, I think they're both on par because I cannot decide which one is better. I'm gonna have to really think about it. But yeah, I think Rocky 2 is a masterpiece. I think it's just as flawless as the first one. I think as of now, I might give the soul light edge to Rocky 2. I know that is a massive hot take to say there, but um, I would say I'll be honest about Rocky 1. I think it's one of the weaker 10 out of 10 films. I mean, I understand what I mean that Rocky it isn't about boxing. It's about I mean just Rocky's personal life and the messages he's trying to tell us, but. I just found this one a little more entertaining, but I want to be I don't really want to be blinded by entertainment and say a movie that's entertaining is better than a movie that's slower but meaningful. But but yeah, this is such a masterpiece sequel. I love this movie, and I was trying to dig in for flaws. I was trying to look for flaws, and honestly, I couldn't find any flaws with this film. I think this movie is flawless. Yeah, I know. People say this is a rehash of the first one, but based on my understanding with the Creed films and how the Creed does have take a lot of aspects from Rocky and do it right, I actually don't really mind the Rocky films reusing the same formula as the first film. Now I will say this story, this is a story that doesn't really work because this sounds like because if this story like falls into the wrong hands, this would have been just an unnecessary sequel because it's mainly about just two people wanting to fight again, wanting to fight again. So that sounds like a rehash. I mean, but it's one of those sequels that may be a rehash in the first one, but at least it's well executed because it's actually able to take note of what the first film accomplished and it's able to applied in the sequel. It does have the same formula, but a lot of like sequels, like even some of the most iconic sequels, like Terminator Two, really really have that rehashing story of the first film, and but that's able to make it superior. This one, like what I said, I don't know if it's superior, if it really is better than the first one, but right now I would give the slighter edge to this one because I think this movie does work so well in what it's trying to do. I think Rocky's personal journey. I will say that Rocky isn't as strong of a character as the first one. On reflection, I think Rocky is the best character in the first. Rocky is the best character in the first film. I said Apollo Creed was the best character, but I think Rocky is truly the best character because come on, he's Rocky. He's an iconic character. You really care for him. You really care for him. You really root for him throughout, and yeah, you really root for Rocky. But this one, yeah, yeah, Rocky is kind of a downgrade, but at the same time, I love Rocky. I love his personal struggles. Like, he's almost like how Peter Parker is from Spider-Man Two, like how he has his life struggles, but without being like what he's most known to be by the audience. And I think the best thing about Rocky in this film is easily his relationship with Adrienne, and since the fact that they're married, and most of the movie focuses on their chemistry. I love it, and this movie has some really emotional beats to it, like the scene where Rocky pretty much Adrian is in the hospital, and then Rocky pretty much comforts her, like watches her, and then you hear this really beautiful score. And by the way, speaking of score, this movie really captures the same score as the first one. Like it really captures the magic of the music in the first Rocky. Like um, it had like an iconic training scene, training montage that was just as good as as the first training montage. Is it better? Not really, but it's on par. I mean, at least you got that epic music, and it still feels as epic as the first film, especially when you got kids running like behind Rocky, and I mean I love that. I mean that is actually brilliant. Because it shows Rocky really is a fighter. Not only can Rocky not only is Rocky a fighter, but he can be a leader as well. That's kind of why they include his kid and added kids. It symbolizes that. It's like it was trying to predict Rocky Creed where Rocky essentially becomes a coach. So I mean that was clever. But again, maybe it's not. It may not be as memorable as the first film, but I think this is just as good. But then we get to my favorite character in the movie. In the first film, I said vaguely said that Apollo was my favorite character, but then later on I realized no, yeah, Rocky is truly the best character. This time around, yes, Rocky. No, Creed is the best character. Is my favorite character for real, and I'm not saying it vaguely. I think he is the standout of the film because kind a part of the film is actually about him because after getting all the backlash received from the first film thing because they thought that his fight with Rocky was a joke and they wanted a proper fight. Creed is really passionate about what he does. He's really passionate about winning against Rocky, and you really feel his motivation. You really understand where he's coming from. You I mean you there's a part of me that I actually wanted to root for him to win against Rocky because that's what he wanted. He wanted to show people that he's the heavyweight champion, and yeah, he's a really well written villain. And I think right now he might be the best of the Rocky villains. Well, I predict that'll change in Creed 3 when we get to see Jonathan Major's character because I'm very sure he's gonna be the best the best villain in the franchise. But right now it's Rocky. And boy, the final battle is probably the best. I've seen all the fights in the Rocky films like Rocky two. I've seen the fight in Rocky 3 and Rocky 5, which oh boy, um on YouTube and YouTube clips. I will say this one as the best fight in the original Rocky franchise. I mean, not as good. Is it as good as the Creed fights? Certainly not. But like the fight, I mean, it's a lot more intense. The stakes are raised higher. It's more brutal, and there actually is a winner. It feels more satisfying. I mean, I love how the first film really subverted our expectations and did it correctly, but this one actually did feel a lot more satisfying. Since well, of course, Rocky won and Creed lost, but Creed was really strong. I mean, I was like thinking, how's Rocky gonna win? Because Creed was really punching him very like fast, like he can see that he was really determined, and also like in the end of the film, he actually did redeem himself, like what I predicted. Like I was like, I said like, I knew that Creed was going to I know that Creed will redeem himself because in Creed 4, he was a good guy, but yeah, in the end, he actually did redeem himself, and now in Rocky 3, I know they're gonna get along, and yeah, so, so overall, Rocky Two is a perfect Rocky sequel that may not be as good as a Creed film, so definitely, but it it is on the same level as great as the first film. I will have to think about which Rocky movie I truly prefer, but right now I put this above I will put this above Rocky One because I think it is more entertaining, but yeah, this movie is a masterpiece. I was trying to look for flaws and I couldn't find one. I know people say that the first two acts are hard to sit through, but to me, I was never bored at all. Like, not a single boring scene here. Yes, it does follow the same story beats, but I think it's very well executed. So yeah, with that said, I'm gonna give Rocky 2 a 10 out of 10. I still think Alien is the best movie of 1979, but this one is definitely a close second. So also for my review of Rocky 2, what is your opinion of Rocky 2? Do you think it's better than the first film? Or do you think the first film was way better, like what majority says? Comment down below, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and stay tuned for my review on Creed 3. Bye guys.